Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Dan, and this is a short mixed movement session. Without further ado, let us begin. So first we're going to begin with a little bit of breathing, just to kind of bring the awareness into our bodies. And we're going to aim to do 10 inhalations with 10 longer exhalations. So aim for 3 to 5 seconds and 6 to 8 seconds out. You can keep your eyes open, keep your eyes closed, whichever you prefer. You can also have your hands on your belly, on your rib cage, to feel the expansion and movement of your rib cage, okay? Tune in and to your body, and let's go. Nice. And slowly wrapping up. Open your eyes, coming back into the room. And we're going to begin with soft arm swing sequence. So first one, feet grounded, knees are soft, arms are relaxed, depending on how much space you have. You can go either wider or being more self-contained. If you're a bit dizzy, you can fix your gaze towards the front as your torso is rotating and arms are being fairly empty. So choose your variation. And let's go. As you fade away, straight away, I'm just going to change my orientation. You're going to start with the arm swings forwards, backwards. So it's a full body motion. So I'm trying to bounce through my knees as it represents each bounce one arm swing, okay? So I'm trying to find the connection between my feet, knees, pelvis, spine, and the shoulders. Find the looseness in the limbs, momentum sort of generating itself without too much energy expenditure. One forwards, one backwards. Allowing your torso and your chest to rotate a little bit. And then you're going to start slowing down as each arm continues going upwards, as you kind of slow down at the top and swing up again. So opposite directions. If you struggle, just slow down, embrace the struggle. It doesn't need to be a perfect circle. Remember the rotation of the torso to help you with this. Soft arms. Change direction. And come to a stop. Beautiful. Think about this. You're gonna go inwards with your arms as they're to the side. As you go inwards, you round your upper back, you protract your shoulder blades. Then keep your knees soft. As you arch a little bit, squeezing your shoulder blades, it doesn't need to be that big arch. So going in, out, in, out. And the last one. Beautiful. Going slightly wider with your feet. Think about keeping your feet grounded as you reach as far as you can to one side. And then you twist in even further towards that side, targeting your hips a bit more. Untwist, and then the other side. Let's do 3 times each side. Hands on your lower back, soften your knees. You're gonna start to rotate your torso, going as far as you comfortably can. Being mindful of the breath. Change direction. Beautiful, nice. Bringing your feet closer together, just prepping the knees. Hands on the top of your knees. Start with your heels on the floor as you go in one direction, keeping the same tempo. So think about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I would strongly encourage you to gradually start lifting your knees, going a bit deeper if possible. I'll be still listening to your body. Change direction. The last one. Beautiful. Going slightly wider with your feet. Going in the forward fold, just pausing there for a few moments. Relaxing the shoulders and the neck. Swaying from side to side. Nice. And then allow yourself to go as deep into the squat as you possibly can. Think about left hand, right ankle, right arm reaching as far as you comfortably can. And then the same hand behind your head, and you're trying to go with your elbow as close to the floor as possible. And then again, reaching up, elbow to the floor. Reach. Elbow to the floor. Last one. Elbow to the floor. Switch. Keeping your hips low as you reach as far as you can. You can always place something underneath the heels if you struggle with the squat. And everyone's squat is going to be different. Some people might need to go wider. Some people might need to elevate their heels. Let's do one more. Beautiful. Right hand on the floor, left hand in the same line. left foot, sorry, right leg as far behind as possible. Allow the hip to sink down. And now here, what we're gonna do with the left arm, just gonna start doing these big circular motions as I'm following the moving hand with my eyes. Beautiful switch. Allow the hips to sink down. And let's begin. Keep coming back to your breath. It shouldn't feel like too much of a hard work, hopefully. The last one. Beautiful. You can go with both knees on the floor. Reach as far as you comfortably can forwards, really lengthening the spine. Finding a bit of a stretch in your upper back and the shoulders. Beautiful. And then slowly exiting this position. Let's move on. Okay, so the first pattern that I would like to play with here is a simple action of spinal roll down into deep squat and then reversing up into sort of arch reach. And that arch, as I externally rotate my arms and look towards the reach, I engage my glutes, I open the front. It would be really good to have some sort of target, like the wall or something behind. But if you really have tenderness in your lower back or something similar, you don't need to go super crazy. So, or you can go freely in the space if you wish. So what it's gonna look like, think about, let's start from the squat, it might be easier. So from the deep squat, I kind of internally rotate my arms as I reach forwards. Then I roll my spine up as my arms are slowly going back. I bend my knees, engage my glutes, opening the hips as I reach back. And again, rolling the spine as you reach downwards, rolling the spine as you reach backwards. Okay, so we're gonna do this roughly for a minute, minute and a half. Work within any capacity or range you have. Be respectful of any injuries, limitations, and so on. And let's give it a go. You can go sideways with your arms as well. Might feel nicer. Count to stop, shake it off. As you probably noticed, sometimes I just give you a suggestion. You can play within a little bit within the same pattern, playing with what arms are leading, how are they going, what trajectory they're assuming, and so on, whatever feels nicer. Okay, let's move on. So for our next task, we need these two high-tech tools called socks. So even better if you have sliding floor that you can slide on easily barefoot, you can use that as well. Technically, yeah, you could do this anywhere, but outdoors as well, but it would be nicer if you have less friction for the next tasks, as you're going to utilize a little bit of friction, less sliding. So we're going to combine sort of sliding reach behind, almost resembling something like dragon squat. First left leg, going back to the same side, and then circling in front. First you're going behind, then you're going in front as far as you comfortably can, and then you're going to do curtsy squat. So think about this. As my majority of the weight is on my right leg, I'm counterbalancing with my arms. So first I start circling behind. All the weight is here. I slide as far as I'm comfortable. Feel that nice stretch in the glutes. Go all the way back, cycle and slide in front. Make sure you're in a stable stance. Now both feet are kind of on the floor, although now right heel is going off the floor. Knees shouldn't be touching each other. Arms, whatever you prefer. As you go down into curtsy squat, lifting up, slowly sliding again into this side. So we're going to try to do, let's say, a minute each side, and let's see how it goes. I'm going to put a timer, a sip of coffee. It's been a long day, and let's begin. The last one on this side. Juicy stretch. Nice. And let's switch. Same thing other side. Just putting the timer. And let's go. This is the last one. Nice. And come to stop. If you wish, you can repeat this for one more round. We shall move on in terms of what we're going to do next. Okay, so our next task is still going to be fairly heavy on the legs, combining a little bit of sort of mini simple sequence with the arms as well. So depending on your range, we're going to go in this wide, relatively wide, not too wide, split stance where you have your legs straight. So my left leg is forward in front, my right leg is on the side. Be mindful, it's not the same line, so they're more kind of diagonal, so you're nicely balanced. So here, trying to maintain straight knees, keeping my back nice and long as I go into forward fold as low as I can, really feeling that stretch in my hamstrings, both feet flat on the floor. Then from here, I just sort of simultaneously start bending both of my knees, but my right knee, I'm gonna go down as close to the floor as I can. And then I'm sitting, weight shifting on the back leg. My heel, right heel is, I'm sitting on my right heel almost, is off the floor, front foot is flat on the floor. You're gonna reverse back in the hinge where the weight is slightly more in front, and then I'm gonna stand up. Hopefully that's clear. What I'm gonna combine this with, as I'm going down, my arms are gonna go to the side. So I'm gonna hinge, arms to the side, make sure you're not rounding, and then as I go in this sort of split stance weight shift, I reach with my arms up against the gravity, and I reverse, and then I stand up and bring my arms closer together. Hopefully that's clear. Let's do first one side and then other side, 1 minute roughly. Let's go. Last one on this side. Beautiful, shake it off. This is going to be interesting on the other side, as I really lack, due to previous history, injury, mobility on my ball of the left foot, so toe extension. So let's do the other side. Remember, you can modify the difficulty by not going super wide. Prepare, and let's go. The last one. Beautiful. And relax, shake it off. As I mentioned earlier, you can pause, do one more round, rewind, but we shall move on to do one more. Otherwise, this short movement session is actually not that short. So last task, sort of heavy-ish task for today, will be a combination of few movements. We're going to be on the floor, now going with our hands into support position. Hips are going to be high. We're going to do scorpion, reach. And that leg is going to go under into sliding push. It's not a real, you don't necessarily need enough strength to do real push-up, but there needs to be some resistance against the floor. So think about this. I'm gonna go with my hands on the floor. Make sure you have some space to go on the sides with the legs. So hips are gonna be high. I lift my right leg up, hips into extension, straightening the supporting leg as much as possible. And then I go into twist, opening the hips, squeezing my glutes, pausing for a second. Then that leg slides. So it's going down and then to the left side. As I sort of twist with my right hip, reaching the floor in my right ear. And then here, I need to push into the floor as I just switch position of my legs. So if some of you want to go back to socks, you can use the socks. Just be mindful it's not too slippery. So I push. I change the position of the legs. And then I push up into left side. I go into slide, pausing for a second, switch, and up again. Be free as you go into slide. This leg which is behind, bend the knee a little bit. Make sure your legs are not perfectly straight. So one leg is straight, the one that's sliding, and the other supporting is bent in this position, just because when you then push up, it's much easier to push in this position. Hopefully that's clear. I'm gonna do roughly a minute or so. because this one is quite intense. I need some fuel. So prepare. This is the last heavy one for today. And let's see how it goes. Simple but not easy. One more time each side. Last one. Oh, nice, juicy. Towards the end, started being quite heavy on the upper body. Nice. So let's all go into Seiza in this position. If you struggle here, put a pillow in between your calves and the hamstrings. You're gonna sit here. Going back to observing the breath. Let's say 5 times as you're calming down, tuning in, noticing how your body is feeling right now. 5 inhalations, 5 exhalations, and then we shall finish. Beautiful. When you're finished, open your eyes, welcome back into the room. So yeah, thank you so much for joining, and forgive me if it was supposed to be a bit shorter. I was aiming for 10-15 minutes, but then it always kind of extends. Maybe it's longer, maybe it's the same time. You kind of, when you teach, you lose the track of that. So this is just a mini taster. What I'm going to do more of, continue doing with my mixed movement sessions. If you really enjoyed this, thank you so much. Please share, subscribe to my YouTube. Big news, I am releasing my app soon, Physical Empowerment, in January, where I'm gonna share more of this for a very small, very reasonable subscription fee, plus strength programs, mobility, skills, everything from handstands, beginner handstands, press to handstand, dragon squat, muscle up, plus these sessions, but also stuff that caters towards various mixed group of people, because at the end of the day, when I teach in person or online, there's always very mixed group of levels, and I really enjoyed that. So for people over 70 years old that want to work still on their mobility and strength, more so than ever before, and then you have younger people that want to get stronger, mobile, working on skills and so on. So thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the session. Hope it wasn't too hard, and take care. See you soon.